Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're joining us today because we're about to dig into something that could change the way you view your relationship. What's really going on in her mind when she's alone? We all know how important those quiet moments are for anyone. We all need our space, right? But for women, those alone times can hold more meaning than you might realize. Maybe you've noticed she seems a bit more distant or off in her own world, and it leaves you wondering, what's she really thinking? Is she reflecting on your relationship, mapping out the future, or is there something else happening under the surface that you're not picking up on? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the secret world of her alone time. When she's by herself, it's not just downtime. It's often when she's processing emotions, figuring out her desires, or even facing personal challenges. And guess what? These moments of solitude can reveal a lot about how she's really feeling, and understanding these can help you build a stronger, more connected relationship. So if you've ever wondered about the subtle cues she might be giving off during these times, stick with me until the end. I'm about to walk you through 7 signs that can reveal exactly what's happening in her world when she's on her own. Let's jump right in. Sign 1. Emotional reflection. When she's alone, one of the first things she's likely doing is processing her emotions. This isn't just about checking out mentally for a bit. This is her time to reflect deeply on how she's feeling about everything in her life, including your relationship. It's totally natural for her to replay conversations or events that happened recently. For example, maybe she's replaying a recent argument in her mind, trying to figure out where things went wrong. Or maybe she's revisiting a joyful moment to hold on to something positive. Sometimes she could even be questioning whether certain aspects of your relationship are as fulfilling as she'd like them to be. Now, if you notice her mood changing after these moments of reflection, like she seems quieter, a bit more distant, or even a little colder, don't ignore it. This could be a sign that she's stuck in a negative emotional loop. Here's the good news. You have the power to change the narrative. The best way to address this is by opening up a dialogue with her, but in a non-pressuring way. Try saying something like, "I noticed you've been quieter lately. Is there something on your mind?" This creates a safe space for her to share her feelings without feeling judged or cornered. It gives her the room to open up if she wants to. Sign 2. Social media exploration. We live in an age where social media is a huge part of our lives, and when she's alone, she might turn to it as a way to unwind, connect with others, or even seek a little escape. But not all social media use is created equal. While some women simply scroll through their feed to catch up with friends or laugh at funny memes, others might use it to find external validation or reconnect with people from their past. Sometimes even flirting with old flames, or engaging in online interactions that feel more meaningful than they seem on the surface. If she's suddenly more active on platforms where she wasn't active before, or if you notice she's being a bit secretive with her phone or online activity, it could leave you feeling uncertain. Don't jump to conclusions right away, though. Instead, approach this situation with curiosity. For example, if she's been spending more time on Instagram, you might say something like, "I've noticed you've been on Instagram a lot lately. What's been catching your attention?" This approach shows that you're paying attention without sounding accusatory and gives her the chance to share why she's engaging more on social media. It could reveal something as simple as a new interest or hobby, or it might point to something more significant happening beneath the surface. Sign 3. Escaping through fantasy. Many women use their alone time to escape into a fantasy world, whether it's through books, movies, or just letting their minds wander. This can be a completely healthy coping mechanism. Everyone needs a mental break sometimes, and these moments of escape allow her to recharge, relax, and momentarily step out of the daily grind. However, there's another side to this too. If she's spending an excessive amount of time immersed in romantic movies, idealized portrayals of relationships, or constantly daydreaming about what could be, it might suggest that she's feeling unfulfilled in her real-life relationship. This could be a sign that she's craving something, whether it's more excitement, intimacy, or a deeper connection. Here's your chance to dig deeper into her interests. Instead of brushing it off, ask her what she loves about the books or shows she's watching. You might say, "What do you love about that series? What's drawing you in?" Sign 4. Private conversations with friends or family. When she's alone, she may also turn to close friends or family for private conversations, seeking advice, venting frustrations, or simply connecting with someone she trusts. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. We all need support systems outside of our romantic relationships. But here's where it gets interesting. If she's constantly reaching out to others and keeping these conversations private from you, it could be a sign that there's tension or unresolved feelings between the two of you. It's important to pay attention to how she talks about these conversations. If she's open and transparent about what she's discussing, there's usually no reason to worry. But if she's evasive or gets defensive when you ask about it, that could be a signal that something more is going on. A great way to approach this is by saying, "I've noticed you've been talking to your friend a lot lately. Everything okay?" This shows concern without accusing her of anything, and it opens the door for her to express what's really on her mind. Sign 5. Self-reflection or self-doubt. Alone time often brings out a lot of self-reflection, but for some women, it can also lead to moments of self-doubt. She might find herself questioning her life choices, her goals, or even her relationship with you. During these moments, she may begin to rethink her priorities or focus more heavily on personal growth. It's normal for anyone to go through phases of self-discovery, but if she's suddenly shifting her focus toward herself, that doesn't mean she's pulling away from you. It means she's trying to understand her own path more clearly. The key here is supporting her and being there for her during this journey. Ask her open-ended questions like, "What's something you've been thinking about doing for yourself?" Or, "How can I support you in reaching your goals?" This shows that you're fully invested in her personal growth and that you want to be there for her, no matter what changes she's going through. Sign 6. Building emotional walls. If she seems to be pulling away emotionally, that could be a sign that she's building emotional walls, something that doesn't happen overnight. Emotional walls are usually the result of unresolved conflicts or unmet needs that have been ignored for too long. She might be retreating because of personal struggles, or maybe she's questioning aspects of your relationship that you haven't addressed. If you notice these changes in her behavior, don't ignore them. Emotional walls can be difficult to break through, but with patience and understanding, you can work together to rebuild the connection. Start the conversation gently. "I feel like we've been a bit distant lately. How can we reconnect?" This shows that you care about her feelings and that you're ready to work together to address the issue. Sign 7. Exploring new passions or interests. Finally, new hobbies and interests can be another thing she explores during her alone time. It could be a creative project, a new skill, or something completely unrelated to the relationship. While this can be a sign of personal growth, it can also indicate that she's searching for fulfillment outside of the relationship. If she's not sharing her new interests with you, don't be alarmed. Instead, ask her about what she's been exploring. A supportive comment like, "That sounds amazing. I'd love to hear more about it," shows that you appreciate her individuality and growth, and it keeps the conversation open for her to share more about her experiences. Conclusion. Understanding what happens when she's alone isn't just about satisfying curiosity. It's about strengthening your emotional connection and building a deeper, more understanding relationship. Women, just like men, need their personal space, but they also need partners who see them for who they truly are, who understand their inner world, and who support them every step of the way. By tuning into these signs and responding with curiosity, empathy, and care, you'll create a relationship built on trust, respect, and emotional intimacy.